Welcome to the Daily for Thursday, April 4th with Andrew Wiebe. I'm Jason Seguini, and Andrew, unfortunately, again, we are here to talk about Champions League disappointment. The LA Galaxy, after going up 1-0 on an AJ De La Garza goal, fall 2-1 to Monterrey, and late goals did them in on the defensive side.
Yeah, they looked to be in great position. Landon Donovan coming on to provide a little bit more attacking impetus. He created the chance, but Robbie Keane, this one's going to be surprising for everybody, gets shut down on the doorstep, and after that it was all downhill. The Galaxy defense in those last 10 minutes just could not keep it together, and Monterrey goes back with a great advantage.
All right, away goals count, so those two goals were big for Monterrey, and now it's a steep hill to climb for the LA Galaxy. For more on this matchup, let's head out to LA where Greg Lalas is.
Well, as you can see, they're shutting things down here at the Home Depot Center, a little bit the way the LA Galaxy shut off at the end of their match with Monterrey. Afterward, head coach Bruce Arena had some very strong words about his team, saying if they had been a little bit smarter, they could have gotten a result out of this one.
We didn't do, the job we needed to do. We don't concede. We walk away with a win tonight and position ourselves better to go into Monterrey. Now going into Monterrey is obviously going to be very difficult, and that'll be our challenge.
Of course, in the 61st minute, Juninho came out of the match with an injury. He was replaced by Michael Stevens, and after that, the LA Galaxy midfield looked a lot more unbalanced than they had earlier in the second half. Omar Gonzalez, center back for the Galaxy, pointed to that moment as a game-changing one.
Whenever Juninho came out of the game, and they started pushing a lot of guys forward, and we didn't deal with the situation enough, and we were sitting back a little bit too much and not putting pressure on them like we were the first 75 minutes.
Well, it's going to be a tough task for the Galaxy when they go down to Monterrey for the second leg next Wednesday. Monterrey have never lost a second leg in this championship, in this tournament. They are the two-time defending champions as well. We'll see if they can get it done next week. I'm Greg Lalas at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. Back to New York.
Thanks, Greg. Remember, next week we will have full coverage from Mexico on MLSsoccer.com, so check back on the site. Well, big congratulations goes out to a couple of former MLS players and one current MLS head coach. Peter Vermes and Joe-Max Moore named to this year's Hall of Fame class for U.S. Soccer, and huge accomplishment for anyone in their sport.
Yeah, massive accomplishment. These guys part of that era of players that started their career overseas before heading back to the States to really help MLS grow in the early years of the league. Both did it with versatility. Of course, Vermes started off as a forward, moved back to defender. He certainly says that's helped him as a coach and a front office man in MLS. Joe-Max Moore, on the other hand, Germany and England, then back with the New England Revolution. More caps than Vermes, certainly a great player in his own right. Both very good additions to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, some key goals for Joe-Max Moore throughout his career. U.S. Soccer celebrating their centennial this week in New York, so we're going to be out in Times Square actually to see some of what's going on out here. Of course, tomorrow there's also a roundtable discussion with Sunil Gulati and Jurgen Klinsmann that we will be covering on MLSsoccer.com. Couple notes before we go today. The Stream of the Week presented by El Jimador was announced yesterday. It's going to be Portland against Houston, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, you can see the free Stream of the Week on MLSsoccer.com.
Yeah, the big question here, can Houston translate that home form to the road? The Timbers Army will hope not.
Well, Andrew will be back here a little bit later for the starting lineup to answer fan questions ahead of the weekend in fantasy. And here's a sample question that came in from Jordan. He wants to know, should I go with Deshaun Brown of the Colorado Rapids or Dominic Aduro of the Columbus Crew at forward?
Well, I'm going to go with Deshaun Brown for two reasons. You look back, Deshaun Brown's goal this year came against RSL. He should have some more luck against them. He's also $500,000 cheaper, and that's money well spent in other parts of your team.
All right, and also a reminder, you can still vote for the goal of the week. It's actually kind of close this week. A lot of good goals. Thierry Henry is in the lead, but there's 3 goals that could potentially overtake him, including Villarreal from LA and Dylan Powers from the Colorado Rapids. That's all we have for the Daily today, but we will be back with more tomorrow.